Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everyone is happy and healthy. Today is our lesson on composition of functions, and I know it's been a little while since you've combined functions together. So we're going to take a little easy and practice some of this. So what we have to get to eventually is to understand that we're going to do this within real world contexts. So today we're going to start with just the basics of how to understand composition of functions and how we combine them together. And then we are going to move next class into real world functions. So, functions are relationships between two different measures where each x has one and only one y, or each input has one and only one output. That's what a function is. And so basically what we can say is we can plug in a number here for x, and I can get out a number y. Well, this works great because then if I've got more than one function, I can plug in the x and get out a y. And then plug into the second one. So, first thing, I'm going to rewrite them as function notation. So this one needs to be an f. The easiest way to remember is we get rid of our y and replace it as f of x, which is 3x plus 7. Then to evaluate it, you take the number that is inside the parentheses and you plug it in everywhere you see an x. So I have 3 parentheses. What number is inside my parentheses is also a 3. And then I have plus 7. Now, you can use Desmos, or you can do it in your head using the order of operations, but 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. So the value of the function f when you plug in 3 is 16. So again, f of 3 is 16. So again, I simply look at what variable is there first, get rid of my y equals, replace it with g of x, and then 750 minus 3x. Again, this time, I look for what is my variable, or the value inside the parentheses. That is where each of my x's go. So I simply rewrite the statement as 750 minus 3 parentheses 15. And then I use Desmos. So right now, plug into Desmos, 750 minus 3 parentheses 15, close it. And you should have gotten 705. So g, the function g, with the value of 15 is 705. And the last one, you attempt that one on your own. Okay, so a composition of functions is the application of one function to the results of another. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to find the answer to one and plug it into the other. Find the answer of one and plug it into the other. That's what it means to do a composition of functions. You find the answer of one and then plug that answer into the other equation. So, it can be represented two different ways. It can be represented as function notation, where you have to plug into the inside the parentheses first. So you're going to start on the innermost of the parentheses, or the most inside. And first plug in your value for f. And then plug the answer, or the solution, from f into g. Now, composition can be rewritten the exact same way. This is composition notation, and it means the exact same thing as g of f of x. It's just a new way of writing it. Okay, so let's evaluate some of these below. So again, I've told you that you have to start on the inside first. So I have to plug 3 into this value for x. So I know that I have to do 3 plus 7 and I get 10. So now I have to plug into g of 10. So I take this value of 10 and I plug it into x. So this becomes g of 10 is equal to 5 times 10, which is 50. Now you might think, oh, the answer to the other one is 50 as well. But the order matters here, and that's why we're doing this. You have to first determine what's on the inside first. So in this case, I'm not going to plug 3 into the f. I'm going to plug 3 into the g. So I have 5 times 3, which is 15. And so now what I have left with is to find f of 15. And to do that, I can recognize that f of 15 is equal to 15 plus 7, which equals 22. Oh, now that's interesting. So if I rewrite it the wrong way, or if I pick which one goes into the composition first, then we're going to have a different answer. So it's very important that you remember that we're always going to start on the inside first and then go to the outside. So again, I start at the inside first. I'm going to plug -2 into this. Now remember, I'm going to replace this with a parentheses and -2. So what I'm typing into Desmos is a negative parentheses -2 plus 9 to figure out what my f of -2 is equal to. Do that. Don't guess. Don't assume. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Plug it in. So you should have g of 11. If you did not get g of 11, then you need to go back and check that you've put it into Desmos correctly. That means I'm going to plug 11 into the x value. So that becomes 4 times 11. And 4 times 11 is 44. So we would anticipate that this is not going to be the same answer. So again, we start on the inside and we plug into the -2. But we do this into our g equation. So I have 4 times -2. Which is -8. So I now need to find f of -8. So I plug it in, negative parentheses, -8 plus 9. You type this entire amount into Desmos. You should have gotten 17. You do this one. Now remember, it's super important that you're paying attention to parentheses. So when you plug into this, make sure that you have your number inside parentheses with your exponent above, and then you hit your right arrow over to do your -5. So you try this one. Okay, this is just written differently. So remember, we're going to start on the inside first. So I'm going to plug into the g first. I'm going to plug 4 into my g first. So this becomes 5 times 4, which is 20. And then I plug that answer into my f. So now I have to evaluate f of 20, which is 20 plus 7, which equals 27. Again, I have to pay attention to the fact that I'm starting on the inside first. So I'm going to plug in, I have 4 going into, not my G, but this time I'm going into my F. So I have 4 plus 7, which equals 11. So I now need to find the value of function G when I plug in 11 for X. So I have our value 5, and I plug in 11. And 11 times 5 is 55. So you can see very easily that this same process of plugging into the inside first, same process is the same. They just look a little different. So I start on the inside, and I plug -10 into my G function, which means I have 4 times -10. So 4 times -10 into my Desmos calculator gives me -40. That means I have f of -40 to calculate. I have to pay attention to the fact that I have a negative and then my -40 plus 9. And you should find that the value for this is 49. And here I plug into the F first. So I'm now going to plug negative 10 into the first one. So again, this becomes negative parentheses negative 10 plus 9. Use Desmos. This is going to be 19. So now we have to find the value of g when we plug 19 into x. That becomes 4 parentheses 19, and 4 times 19 is 36. Nope. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 19 is 70. You do the last one. So again, pay attention. You're plugging into this one first, or you're plugging into this one first. You are then going to do the last row on your own. So what I need you to pay attention to is going to be this one here. This is showing that x is divided by 2. When you are done with this, please go to Delta Math and complete the assignment in Delta Math. It's only 5 questions. If you need scrap paper to write on, please flip this paper over to show your work.